Thank you, Senator McCain. This is a response I received from you on the issue of firearms or people control. What I would really like to know is what public safety legislation that comes before the Senate that you would support on this issue. Specifically, I'm concerned of the use of the term universal background check. Now we're using enhanced background check. None of these terms have been defined. And I want to ensure that when it's time to pass my collection down to my son or daughter or grandsons or granddaughters, that I don't have to go through an FFL to turn my firearms over to them before they can be turned over to my son or any other member of my family I so choose.
And I'm sure you would not want someone like our shooter here in Tucson to pass a background check, which he did.
That was a failure of Pima Community College, I think.
Well, he also took a background check, and I don't think that Pima Community College had a damn thing to do with his background check. Maybe they did. I didn't know that community colleges.
They could have had him involuntarily committed.
They may have.
Yeah, they did Fuller at the ABC News event.
And he also. This is the problem with this whole issue. You have a neighbor that you think is acting in an aberrational fashion. You turn that person in. What is that person's rights? This is something that is very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult as to where individual rights are guaranteed by the Constitution are, and the rights of our fellow citizens to be protected from someone who is obviously going to commit an act of violence. Right now, there's a group of bipartisan senators. One of them, Senator Tom Cole, who is as strong as you are, I believe, on the second.
Maybe.
Well, I have great confidence in him and some others, and they're trying to come to some agreement. But I understand your concern about your ability to pass on your collection to your children and your grandchildren. I understand that. I believe that my record on Second Amendment rights is very clear, and I will continue to try to protect those. But for us now to say, after all these shootings and all these crazy people, to say, look, we have to look at this situation. We have to look at what's happening in our society. We have to look for ways to prevent these kinds of tragedies from happening. And I can't outline to you any measures that we need to take right now. I'm going to rely on, to some degree, on these people I was just mentioning to you. But to do nothing without even examining the problem and trying to see if there are solutions to them, and I'm sure that's not your position.
Well, I would love to be part of that conversation.
And I'll look forward to it. And mention that we talked here, and we will correspond.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.